I told you there would be a moment. Well, guess what? The moment's here. The fight is coming. Let's go!
Boxing King Media in association with Boxer with Pamela, Jake Paul's mum. Before we talk about this fight, we've just seen the face-off get filmed. What did you think to that?
In all honesty, I love Radio Raheem, but I thought some of the questions sounded very one-sided, and I was not real happy with the way he worded the question about, Jake's boxing career if he doesn't beat Tommy. Because, first of all, that's not in Jake's head at all, and he doesn't want to, bring any of that in. And I think Raheem should have picked up on that. Like, no, that's, I don't really need to answer that question. I think he got pushed into answering it, and I don't think Jake, he even has ever thought of it, the answer to that, because it's not in his definition. My answer to that would have been absolutely not. People win, people lose, they go on in their careers, duh. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance, And Jake's boxing career will go on despite winning or losing any boxing match. I don't care if he's, where he is. And so Jake doesn't want to hear that. And so I just think that should have been picked up on and kind of moved on. And there were a couple questions like that. But he never did get an answer out of Tommy Fury about if Tommy would settle or be settled with a decision and what that would mean for Tommy. Because, Tommy's saying knockout, knockout, knockout. So he never forced him to answer that question, which was one of my other parts I didn't love about it.
It's a valid point. You're entitled to your opinion, but Jake did seem like he wasn't happy with the questions, but he kind of dealt with it all right. He let it flow, and he's still there doing media work. Where does he get all this confidence and all this composure from? Because he seems like nothing seems to faze him at all. Because on paper, let's just say if he does lose, he's risking a lot of hatred and a lot of online criticism, but he doesn't seem to care.
Jake is confident in his own ability and his mental clarity, his spirituality, his heart, his fight. He really literally is willing to die in the ring. So that's where all that comes from. And it's in himself. I mean, everyone can say, they're confident that they're going to win. And that can come out of your mouth, but you see it in Jake's face and his eyes and his attitude. And that really just comes within his inner strength. He comes from a strong, confident family on both sides. And I think our bloodline, which no one talks about, no one knows, has just as much confidence as the Furies.
Tell me about that. I don't know. Curious.
Just in general, just because you're a boxing family doesn't make you the only confident people in the world that think they're going to succeed in life. We have very successful people in our lives. We have academic people, financial people. We have doctors, lots and lots of medical people. That makes us successful. That makes us confident. We raised Jake with confidence. It's not all about athletics. That's in your blood confidence. It just doesn't come with just boxing. If you're only confident in boxing for your whole entire life, that's, to me, not what the true definition of success is. Jake and Logan have been successful in multiple levels, multiple points. Athletics, business acumen, creativity, fan engagement, people saving people's lives, starting foundations. That's success, and that's where it comes from.
I want to highlight your son's not just a YouTuber or a boxer, and I know he's done a lot of work for kids that get bullied at school. And I think sometimes the media and the people don't highlight the good things. People will highlight, what happened in the press conference today and the back and forth, but I know he does a lot of stuff outside boxing, and it's worth highlighting that.
It is worth highlighting that. Boxing Bullies is, an anti-bullying foundation, nonprofit, which I have, helped Jake with the little kids, and you can just see the way Jake lights up and he loves to help give the confidence to the kids. He says himself, I was bullied. He was a bully. It's not right. It is hurting the world, and social media is bringing that to light. And social media is also part of the problem. So I think Jake stepping in and using his platform is wise, it's commendable. I think that gives him, godly, heavenly support. And I think that's also on our side. And I think it's really important. The media, happy stories, the media doesn't like to pick up on. They always like the controversy. And that is part of the problem in the world, period.
That's fact, and that's why I wanted to highlight that. So hopefully that'll get put across. How much longer do you want Jake to carry on fighting for? Because he's making plenty of money on YouTube and business interests. Do you want him to carry on fighting?
I want him to do what's in his heart and what he feels is right for him, physically, spiritually, mentally, not necessarily financially. He's got other ventures. So I just want him to do what he feels is right for him. As a mom, I think he does need to pay attention to, CTE. It's very, very real thing, and you're messing up your face. And we used to say when the kids were doing the YouTube and making videos that, their face was their moneymaker. No, we were kind of wrong. Their brain and their bodies have also proven to be part of that success. So I think it's really, really up to Jake. It doesn't matter what I want.
And you're a proud mum, obviously, I'm guessing, with no matter what he does. And credit for you to the way you brought up Jake and Logan both, because they're both doing good things in boxing and sports in general. Just a last question for you, Pamela, and I'm sure you've done plenty of interviews over the years. Is there anything you could share from Jake's childhood that you may not have shared before? Anything random that comes to your mind?
A lot of people ask me that question, so I've pulled a lot of random stuff out of my head. Some of it has to do with his teachers growing up when he was little. He was not as into school and, used to be the class clown and get in trouble and all that. But I always gravitated towards those teachers that gave him, they might have told him to quiet down, but they, behind the scenes, thought he was hilarious and darling and were not so serious about it, kind of also let his personality come out. I think part of that is what made Jake want to kind of fight back against some of the teachers that just wanted to stifle him. So some of the little things were just teachers telling me, like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but those little dimples of him, of his, really just get to me every single time. And he's really a good kid with a big heart, and that's what I heard a lot in school. And that's something that, again, a lot of people don't know about that.
Interesting stuff. And last question for you. What's the most precious thing he's ever got you, whether it was something he bought you or gave you? Because I know he's got you a lot of things over the years. I've seen it on YouTube. But what's something that you kind of hold dear to your heart that you'll always remember?
Every single little letter he wrote me as a child, thanking me for putting up with him and helping him and loving him and feeding him his favorite foods and just being there for him. I save them all. And same with Logan. I have it all. And I literally read them, even as little as last week.
That's pretty amazing. I never knew you did that. I don't know if you ever mentioned that before or not.
No,
But
I guess that's another tidbit.
yeah, that's interesting, because that shows a different side to Jake and Logan both, that the fact they're writing letters to their mum thanking you. So that's nice to hear, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I told you there would be a moment. Well, guess what? The moment's here. The fire's coming. Let's go!